Sudah satu minggu ini COP28 UNFCCC menjadi headline. Sebagaimana dalam COP UNFCCC sebelumnya, Indonesia menampilkan Pavilion Indonesia. Pavilion Indonesia kali ini bertema Indonesia Climate Action Inspiring the World. Menggelar 77 sesi diskusi panel. Luar biasa antusiasme para aktors dan non-state actors yang telah bersinergi dan berbagi best practices, aksi mitigasi, dan adaptasi perubahan. Sobat Iklim, jumpa lagi di Pesan Iklim dari Dubai. Saya Agus Yustianto menyapa dari Pavilion Indonesia Expo Dubai City, tempat gelaran Conference of the Parties 28 UNFCCC. Topik kita hari ini adalah peran perhutanan sosial dalam aksi iklim. Saya ditemani Ami Dussel. Ami Dussel, PhD, adalah Senior Forestry Officer and Team Leader of Forest and Climate at FAO. Thank you, Amy, for being with us today amid your tight schedule and having you spoke in the Indonesian Pavilion last Monday. Tamu kita satu lagi adalah sahabat saya, Direktur Jenderal Perhutanan Sosial dan Kemitraan Lingkungan Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup dan Kehutanan, Dr. Bambang Supriyanto. Pak Bambang, kemarin saya ikut sesi perhutanan sosial. Wah, luar biasa, pesertanya banyak sekali dan sangat menarik. Sobat Iklim, one of the most essential elements in reducing emission from forestry through reforestation and sustainable forest management is a social forestry. Why? Rehabilitating degraded forest and managing forest resources sustainably needs the involvement of people, especially living inside and surrounding forests. Social forestry ensure communities to have access to forest resources and improve their livelihood. Let me begin with Amy. You have been working on social forestry program in Asia, and you had spent more than 5 years in Indonesia. Do you see any significant progress? What are the underlying causes of the performance of current social forestry in Asia especially?
Well, thank you so much, Agus and Bambang. It's a pleasure for me to be here today with such distinguished colleagues from the Indonesian government, and I really congratulate you on everything that you've done for social forestry in Indonesia. It's incredibly impressive, and it's a model for the world, in fact. So thank you for all of your hard work on that. We've seen that, social forestry has really taken off in the ASEAN region, and FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, has a program through the UN RED program on social forestry in Indonesia, Cambodia, and Laos PDR, and providing support for social forestry in those countries. We're doing that with partners such as UNEP and Raycroft and others. And really good news. I mean, in the last decade or more, the area of social forestry has more than doubled in the ASEAN region. And Indonesia, in fact, is a leader in that space. And we see that much of the reason for that is the strong political will at the highest level, and that makes all the difference, because when you have those kinds of signals coming from the government, everything else starts to fall into place. And social forestry, the scientific evidence is very clear that when communities who are based in and around forests are their rights to customary land holdings are enhanced, they're given support for their local livelihoods. forest conservation, sustainable forest management, these things are naturally falling into place. And so it's really a win-win for both, well, actually it's a triple win for climate, biodiversity, and maybe even most importantly, the people on the ground. So we see this as a very positive development in Indonesia as a model. I would like to say from FAO's perspective that, of course, the mitigation outcomes of social forestry are critical. So when you keep forests standing through local management, of course, that's important for keeping that carbon stock in place, and continuing the sequestration capacity. Restoration of degraded lands also, and sustainable forest management. But also, as important are the adaptation benefits that social forestry provides. When we think of all of the biodiversity benefits that forests provide for local people and local livelihoods, those are, could be considered adaptation benefits, because in times of need, people are relying on the forest for their livelihoods, and increasingly under climate change, forests are important safety nets. Forests provide cooling benefits for local people. Forests provide water services. So all of these services and benefits of forests are absolutely important for adaptation as well. So maybe in conclusion, we can say very squarely that social forestry is a key part of climate action, and Indonesia is really leading the charge on this. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Amy. Yeah, you mentioned that a lot of progress social forestry in ASEAN, especially in Indonesia, and also the benefit for the local communities and their livelihood. And of course, dealing with the climate change, social forestry will give support to the adaptation and mitigation. And now I move to Pak Bambang. Pak Bambang, as the hub of social forestry program in Indonesia, how do you find Indonesia in progressing the social forestry program during the last decade?
Okay, thank you. I continue Amy's statement. In ASEAN is almost 10 million hectares, right? Indonesia, by September, our data is 6.3 million hectares. So you are right, Indonesia in terms of access, this is the highest. And the most important thing is, in handling, how after access, facilitating the process by facilitator to establish what they call as institutional setup. And the second is, how to create the social forestry, forest management. And the third is, if FMU say as business applied, so that business will be linked to the microfinance and also to the market. So we see before 2015, the number of social forestry is almost 400,000 hectares. So it means by now it's 6.3 million hectares, almost 1,500%. This, you are right, this is because of the strong leadership through what we call as agrarian reform. So Ibu Minister already allocated the indicative area for the social forestry in 2,563 villages, and then the target is 12.7, but Ibu Minister put it 15.3 by now. So our challenge now is how to accelerate. This is the first challenge. And the second, very important in this decade, in terms of the strong legal law, because in the first time, social forestry already mentioned in the Act number 11 2020, job creation, and we are also supported by the government regulation number 23 2021, and also the ministerial regulation number 9 and 4, 2021 and 2023. As I said, that we need an acceleration and need a multi-stakeholder support in terms of the acceleration of the access and also how to enhance the quality of the farmer group, multi-stakeholder. So the intention of the president is very good. Last year, 29th of May, the government instruction number, regulation number 28, 2023 already signed. And then he said that no, it's not Ministry of Environmental and Forestry job as a main, but also all of the ministerial level. And also the strong point is the involvement of governor and district. District, this is also very important. So I said, I agree, totally agree. This is a strong leadership and also benchmarking in the area will be beneficial for the acceleration and enhancing the quality.
Yeah, Pak Bambang, I've been well informed that the government has a pentahelix collaboration in the implementation of social forestry. This collaboration involves government, academia, private sector, community, and media. How do you incorporate the pentahelix concept into social forestry, and how is the progress until now?
As I said that, institutional setup, because the farmer location is in the district. So this is a local government should be involved. This is our strategy. And they are, accompanying the PIAPs, the indicative area for the social forestry. Then, propose for the access. And link with the local government institution, also put the program integrated. Maybe for example like agroforestry. Agro means agriculture and also forestry. We don't have any expertise in terms of the for the crop. We ask for the Ministry of Agriculture. If civil fisheries, this is about fish and crab. So we are asking the parties from the Ministry of for the marine and coastal to give an assistance, also linked to the market. So this is the first in terms of for the local government and also district head of the district and also the government to increase the productivity and also for the continuity for the in terms of the added value. We also endorse what we call integrated area development. This is need support from academic, from the university, from the research. How to increase the productivity, and then how to calculate, for example, from the carbon for the community. We need from the university, and of course we need also from the private, because the private, this is very important. When the product is already high. And then for the continuity, as long as there is a market, of course there will be a sustain. So we allowing the farmer group to have like a MOU or cooperation with the off-taker. The most important thing is about NGO. This is the civil society. It's very important. Why? Because to bridge the local wisdom and to achieve about the sustainability and also with the competitive of the market and also the economic benefit, the need like a bridging, for the microfinance and also for the investment, so that we encourage civil society, NGO, part of social forestry as a facilitator. We have two kind of facilitator. The one is government, and another one is self-standing of the facilitator. This is including the NGO. This is the way. So, because our approach now is integrated area development, multi-discipline approach over there. Like yesterday when we make a presentation with Astra, maybe one of the example, and with FAO and UN perhaps this is also. and so many stakeholders involved. And we, at the moment, we have a 330 location of integrated area in every province. So normally, farmer is with the principle of seeing is believing. So after we establishing of the benchmark of integrated area development, then people, this is very good place to learn and to share each other, which enable to accelerate, the process of the adopt a principle of the sustainable forest management and social forest. This is
Yes, Amy, based on your knowledge and experience, what are the challenges in accelerating social forestry program in supporting current global climate targets through local actions?
Well, I think building on what Bambang just said, I think one of the challenges is in fact this dealing with the cross-level complexities of social forestry. So I'm really quite impressed with how you're dealing with that, really recognizing that this can't just be done obviously at the national government level, but that provincial and district level governments have to be actively involved, because that's really where the local decision making is happening. And that is a major challenge, especially in large countries like Indonesia, to actually bridge that level of governance. And then also I appreciate the mention of civil society and non-state actors, and I think we see that even at COP28 and the importance of the global climate action community that brings in all the non-state actors, civil society, private sector, indigenous peoples organizations, to really build this climate action together. So I think that's a major challenge, though. It's not so easy to do that. So I commend you for that. And I think the other one, of course, is the finance. I mean, ultimately, it's building the business case for social forestry and really leveraging all kinds of finance for these efforts, so that ultimately the communities who are putting in the efforts to do it, they are benefiting the most, because then you are creating a virtuous cycle. Positive land use practices are compensated and supported, and that just builds more momentum for those practices, including in other communities. So I think we still have that finance issue to address. It's starting to move, but there's still quite a bit of work to do.
yes, as I said before, that we are lucky now because for the first time, social forestry already have Act number 11 2020, and also the government regulation. And in terms of regional, we are also lucky. We have an ASEAN working group on social forestry, as Indonesia as the leader for that organization. And this forum is very good for the action view and also lesson learned from each other, especially how can social forestry as engine for the climate and also for the livelihood and also social forestry. And for the international, we have a local community and indigenous platform. We as part of this kind of organization, this is under UNFCCC, and every year we have a meeting and gathering. What is the issue to be put over there and to be discussed in order to have attention on the issues. The most important thing is we report also, as you said, that Indonesia as role model, especially for the acknowledgement of the other people. We don't use indigenous people, other people, because of different reason, of course. According to them, that Indonesia is very active in terms, acknowledgement of the other people. That's why until now we already have 131 acknowledgement for the other people and their life. This is about 250,000 hectares. And Ibu Minister, this is very good because we need local government, local regulation perda for the MHA, Masyarakat Hukum Adat. As long as the Bupati, head of the district, already approve that there are Adat people over there, Minister already allocated the indicative for the adat forest. At the moment, almost 1 million hectares already allocated. This is what the lesson.
Sobat Iklim, what a great insight from our special guest today. We have learned from Pak Bambang and Ibu Emi that social forestry has a big potential to reduce emission from forestry sector. And we need to prove that the potential is realized and robust strategies can be formulated based on the evidence in the field. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.